champion, top of the line. Yeah, everything came together, plain as a line. This really what we do, we in it for life. Nah, ay. D1 champion, top of the line. Yeah, everything came together, plain as a line.
And welcome back to the Meatsy Show. We joined today by, and look, and I'm just going to say this before I even get started introducing this guy. I was watching the fights getting ready for the Sean and Merrick podcast. And every time I kept watching the fights, Jason All Smoke Asher kept popping up. And every time I seen him, I even texted Ravi Shate and I told him, I said, Asher is the real deal. I promise you, he is next. He is the real deal. And welcome to the show, Jason All Smoke Asher. What's up, buddy, man? What's going on, my boy?
Oh man, I'm coming down from the high right now, but this weekend went about as well as it possibly could. It was incredible, brother. I think from just Fury coming down here, the biggest regional promotion in the U.S., to New Orleans, and like you mentioned, two of my teammates, Merrick and Sean King. Those my boys. You know what I'm saying? We had seven guys, I think, fight on this card. Supposed to have eight. Mid City, we took over.
Put on a show, bro.
Mid City MMA, yeah, man, we put on a show, brother. And even though we took some, two L's that night, it don't, the rest of us, it was all good competition, all super high level competition. So it doesn't, either you win or you learn, brother, and that's the way we do it, So, but like I said, like I was a part of that winning, and what a wild night. We'll get into it, but yeah, it was a crazy night for me, and it turned out very, very well.
Turned out very well, very, very, very well for you. So my first question for you, mentally, how difficult is it to find out your opponent within an hour before you're supposed to fight? You find out your opponent has a family emergency.
Yeah.
We'll get into it, and then you're gonna fight Cameron, who was a very experienced fighter. What's your mentality knowing that, like, oh shoot, I'm about to have to fight this other guy?
Man, so I'll run you through it, brother. I was about 10, 15 minutes from making a walk with my original opponent. And then he comes. Luckily, as a man, he came up to me personally, and told me that he wasn't gonna be able to make the walk because of his family emergency. Which, look, I understand. I'll never shit on him for that, bro. Like that's
Right.
I get it, and I appreciate him as a man coming to me and telling me first. I don't got to hear it from nobody else. I hear it from him. And he told me what it was, and my team and my coaches were so busy cornering that night. They were about to walk with Merrick.
Yep.
And my head coach Sean just said, sit with these feelings, like, I'm sorry, but like sit with these, decompress. And fuck, bro. So I break down in tears because fuck, now I put in weeks, bro. I put in a 8-week training camp, man. I made 145. Like, I'm a big 145, bro. I never made 145 before. Like, the sacrifices I made, the amount of tickets I sold, I had so many people there for me, and all the sponsors that sponsored me, all these people I want to put on a show for. And then all that being said, like, this was the biggest opportunity in my career, fighting on the Fury stage in my hometown. Like, this was everything I wanted it to be. And so I break down in tears myself, but something in me was like, nah, bro, like, I remember during the fight camp, Sean telling me, like, oh, like, they got a backup for me just in case this shit fall through. And I'm in the same weight class as him, and I was like, wait, hold on, man. Maybe, I know he weighed in yesterday, like, fuck, maybe there's a chance. If anybody can figure out, it's going to be Fury. They're going to figure it out. They got the pull. So, I just kind of sat down for a second, the fucking stop feeling sorry for myself. And, I found the VP of Fury, Rich. He was running to the back, and I stopped him. I said, Rich, like, the call's out, is there any chance, like, I heard y'all had a backup. He goes, man, that guy's been sitting in the audience. He might be fucking drunk. And he goes, let's go talk to Kyle. He tried to talk to my opponent. Time passes, about 30, 40 minutes pass. And, they come back. They tell me, they're definitely not going to be able to make my original opponent happen. I understand. But that fucking dude, Cameron Graves, is in and he's down. And he's fucking, he's been locked in watching the fight. So he's not drunk or anything. I'm like, fucking, he's like, Rich asked me, do you want to do it? I said, can I have 5 minutes to watch some film? He said yes. So I think at this point, Merrick's fight ended. So the coaches were in the back, and so me and one of my coaches, Tom Lee, we start breaking down film. Another one of our guys, Carlos Vera, who's in the UFC, he's looking them up on Tapology. So we're breaking them down, multiple people at once. In just 5 minutes of film study, we kind of constructed a pretty quick game plan. Completely different style than my fight, than my original fighter. He's a very high level black belt. Not the best wrestling though, so we knew that if we could stuff his shots, we weren't too worried. His striking was very patient, but technical. We saw that he was a southpaw, so completely different stance than my original opponent. So we have to make some on-the-fly adjustments, and then some techniques that we actually saw that we pointed out as holes in his game that we actually was me landing that knee up the middle. I was able to land it twice, and just by watching film for 5 minutes, we're able to point that out and see that he'll dip whenever he kind of senses danger, because he has a very good high guard, so he'd dip and then the up the middle would be open. So I have a very good knee, and so we plugged that right in. And after just kind of breaking him down, you start getting the nerves coming back because I had a huge adrenaline dump when I found out I wasn't fighting. And then it was like, the promoter told me, like, hey, like, you don't fuck up my show by not taking this fight, so I don't want you to feel any type of pressure. And then, I turned to my coaches. I said, what do y'all think? They said, this decision's not up to us, but like, we're backing you regardless, like whatever you think. And I said, bro, I sold too many tickets. I cut too much weight, and I want to fucking fight. So I told them, let's do it. And, Rich said, let's do it, man. We'll make, swap the, some fights around. And then, I ended up being this, before Sean, not the official co-main event, but, the co-main event. Another warm up. I fucking already did a whole warm up. I already do long warm ups. I like to spar in the back. I like to take a long 1.5, 2 hour warm up. Right back into warming up. And, and just kind of told myself, you go out there, just be free. First off, whatever, like, I'm down to scrap. I've done this before, actually. I've had a short notice fight where I took on 30-minute notice. When I wasn't even supposed to fight that night, I was just there helping a friend warm up. So I've done this before as an amateur. Obviously not at this fucking, against this skilled opponent or this stage. But, I said, like, fighters fight, bro. That's what we do. It's in the name, all smoke. Like, I'm always down to scrap. And I just told myself, just go for it. When you go spar with somebody that comes to your gym, you're not fucking film studying. It don't matter. Like, I don't need to feel out somebody. I'll feel him out in the cage. And, also props to him, bro. Like, he a dog for taking that shit. I hope they paid his ass a bunch of money because, he saved fucking my night. And, bro, he has projected my career times 10, bro. I've had so many opportunities that come out the woodwork after something like this. So, that was kind of my mentality going into it. Just go out there and fucking just have fun, go perform. And I know my skills, are at the level to go perform. And if I'm free in the cage, then I'm going to be the most dangerous one there that night. And then that being said, we got that first round knockout. And my mic skills are just, impeccable.
On another level, bro. On another level.
Yeah, so I feel very confident with everything. Hey, I really knew. So he worked out. He walked out to like a slow like church song.
Yes.
And then I knew what I had in the chamber. I had set it off by Boosie. So you from down here, it make it's gonna make the crowd go crazy. So I already knew from the jump everything lined up perfectly, brother. And then as far as the fight itself, man, I never was really in any danger, and my coaching and my corner work is fucking incredible. We were making adjustments on the fly in the fight. And, he cracked my ass one good time. And, that's when I cracked him back and I finished the fight, because I'm not going out like no coward, bro. You're going to have to kill me in there.
And that was really
Yeah,
kind of the only heavy exchange, because
yeah. It
you
was a
could
lot
tell
of touching.
y'all were both trying to fill each other out,
Mm-hmm.
and fill each other out for that first half, maybe three quarters of that first round, and then he came in kind of hot and he hit you with one. And if you
Yep, a
watch the
good one
highlight
too.
video before this, you're gonna see the overhand right that
Yep,
stings him. And when that right hit him, I don't think he knew what hit him because he
yep,
immediately went back. Then he gets hit with the knee to the face. And then it
yep.
was just ground and pound after that, dude. It was such an electric performance by you on such short notice to still be able to come to a higher quality opponent than what you were originally going to face. And what you say, 5 minutes of tape study, back to warming up, back, and for you to have that performance, dude, I think it sets you up even more if you would have just had the original fight.
I
You know, this
completely
is
agree. I completely
this is
agree.
a blessing from God, bro. Like
Yeah.
this is God putting you where He wants you to be, and He's like, hey, you know what? I want to see if you got it. And dude, you come out, and it was you get the knockout, Sean gets the knockout, dude. It was like dude, what
And
a
then
way for New Orleans.
yeah, and like you said, Sean got the knockout, and brother, like I said, I know how to play to a crowd. I know Sean sold the most tickets. I know everybody's there to see him. He's the main event. What do I do when I'm on the mic? I say, I'm laying, I laid him down first. Sean King coming next,
Yep.
and make the crowd go crazy and set him up perfectly. So, like like I said, I know how to work the mic, and I know I had the skills. So I just got to go show it. And now I'm getting to show it on the level of Fury. And that's we'll get into that in the future. But we're gonna go sign with them. I've had so many opportunities come out the woodwork, like you said, because of this. And yeah, like you said, it went from absolute worst case scenario to an opponent pulling out, thinking the fight's off, to completely best case scenario. It could not have gotten better. It could not have gone better. Um, as far as like the opponent, I mean, I think my original opponent, I'd say they're probably equal. I mean, I don't know. The guy I fought has such good veteran experience. He was their former 2-time champ. But my original opponent, yeah, fucking wrestled D1. He was D1 wrestler in college, and since then has translated him is a great striker now too. So either way, both fights would have fucking been bangers. It doesn't matter. Any fight I'm in is not gonna be boring. Um, but this turned out to be is spectacular in my favor, and yeah, like you said, brother, that you whether it's a higher power or something put me in these positions, like and I just have to show up and do it. And I was thinking about this a lot the following day. Me and my girl were riding around the city doing a bunch of stuff, and I was like, bro, if I didn't take that opportunity and take that fight, and if I'd just been like, oh, he pulled out, well, now I'm not going to take this replacement. It's not the smart move. I had people telling me it's not the smart move, in the back. A few people telling me like, oh, like maybe they're not saying it with their words, but I could feel some energy. Not my coaches. My coaches had complete faith in me, but people just around. They're like, oh shit, I don't know if you do this. Like, this guy's pretty good. He ain't no fucking slouch. And you just got to have faith in yourself. And I was thinking about that the following day about how if I didn't take this opportunity, then I'd have just been fucking in a bad mood for a month, saying,
Mm.
"Oh, poor me, look what happened to me." Instead of no, I went and took action, and now this has set my career up for just to the moon. You know what I'm saying? Like such a big jump in recognition, and not that I care about recognition, but I care about recognition from my peers in the sport. You know what I'm saying? Like fans gonna love you, fans gonna hate you. People gonna be on your side when you win in, and they're gonna say you suck when you lose. That don't really matter to me. But as far as the people that know the sport, that's the shit I care about. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, it's been great, brother. It's been great.
And shout out to Cameron Graves. I just want to give him another shout out and a round of applause for taking this fight, being in the stands, and even taking the fight, not even knowing you were going to be the opponent. He was ready for somebody to back out of
Yeah,
Sean's fight. You know, so just shout out to him, dude. What a true professional and what a man, you know, just to get up and just really love the craft to go and fight you. My next question for you is, where'd you get these mic skills from? Like, where was it like as a kid, I watched WWE a lot, like back in the 90s, the Attitude Era. So
Yeah.
I had some really good mic skills, you know, mimicking The Rock and everything. Where you get your mic skills from?
Well, I think it's just natural, brother. I think being from New Orleans, it's just, we know how to talk some shit. Most people know how to talk shit. So, I don't watch WWE, like nothing against it, but I do take how they play to a crowd.
Mm,
I take that from them, right? So, like, if I'm walking out, I was telling the Fight Pass guys, the UFC Fight Pass guys, that if I'm fighting in New Orleans, I'm gonna walk out to some New Orleans music. If the crowd's there for Sean, I'm gonna fucking bring up Sean. Like, there's things that you do. Like, if I'm in Houston, I'm gonna walk out some Texas shit. I'm gonna bring up something that relates me to Texas, like how they took us in for Katrina, shit like that. Like, I know how to play to a crowd. You gotta know, you know, the people and how to take their audience in the eyes and grab their attention. But just I think most of it's just natural. I think that is planted in my head, of crowd work and stuff like that. But a lot of it's just natural. Some of it is, I had a lot not planned to say, but I'll think these things through um, prior to getting on the mic. Like, as we were making a walk, one of my coaches went, "Hey, whenever you go knock this motherfucker out, let's say, make sure you tell everybody he's a former champ, two-time former champ for this organization." And, I was like, okay, I took that into perspective. And it's just stuff like, I'm not thinking about that in the fight, but I'm just putting it in the back of my head, right? So, you know, uh, also just knowing, like, there's just things you have about a minute before they come interview you, so I'll kind of just collect my thoughts, and then again, I'm just blessed with the ability to kind of just let it roll off the tongue as well. So, I don't know where it comes from. I think just being able to talk some shit.
And I think that's what makes it so great is because you can tell it's effortless.
Yeah.
It's not like you pre-planned it. It's not like you have this Josh Hokett thing about you where you have this
No.
whole
Yeah.
gimmick or anything like that. It's like, hey, give me the mic and just let me go. You and just let
It's funny. Actually, back in high school, I had a speech class in ninth grade. And I remember I wouldn't write no fucking speech. They gave you a whole week to write a speech. I would not write a speech. I would go up there with a blank piece of paper and I just spit off my dome. And I just think about the topic like for an hour beforehand and just go spit. And then I ended up having to end the class. So I don't know if that come from it or what, but yeah, I can just flow on the fly with the best of them. So
got
yeah,
that gift of gab in you.
yeah, yeah, I guess so.
You
Yeah, I
got
guess
that
so.
gift of got that gift of gab, dude. And that's awesome, bro. So, my next question would be for you. Well, no, because I just thought about this. So let me go there. What is okay? Say, hey, you in a UFC event this Saturday, and it's
Mhm.
in some place you don't even know. It's in Abu Dhabi or something. What is your number one fight song you walking out to?
Honestly, Set It Off is up there. I mean, that's the first song I ever walked out to.
Classic.
It depends on my mood. I don't have a set like thing I walk to. Set song I walk to every time. The reason why I picked Set It Off was multiple reasons. Like, this fight, I felt like I had a chip on my shoulder. I felt like I had to prove myself on the Fury stage. I felt like, I'll make up shit in my head just like Jordan did. Like, I'll make up criticisms in my head, like, oh, who I fought as a pro so far, who, what I'm saying, like, I ain't proved myself, but people, they feel this sort of way. So I felt like I had to have this, like, and Boosie, just the way he rap is with an
Mm,
attitude and aggression. So I don't have it definitely depends on my mood. It would be tough if I'm in a different country to play to a crowd, but yeah,
right.
whatever my mood was for that fight camp. So yeah, I can't give you just a direct answer on that. I wouldn't walk out to some shit I don't know though. I need to vibe off of it, brother. I need to vibe
Right.
off of it.
Right. Yeah. Hey, dude, when you come down, walking down the steps and you were singing Boosies like gangsters in your front your motherfucking house. And then when I knew it from the moment you did that. I looked at my old lady and I was like, it's over, bro. I don't,
Yeah,
cause we had two mid-city MMA guys. One guy's a 2-0 amateur. The other guy hadn't fought yet. He just started, but they were sitting by us in the crowd and they had gone back and we were kind of talking to them. I got their Instagram and everything. And I'd already told them before. I was like, they were like, "Who you here to see?" I was like, "I'm here to see Asher."
yeah,
I supported Merrick. I was supporting King. I was supporting everybody. But after watching everything, I'm like, I really want to see Asher in person fight.
yeah.
It's different seeing it in person. That's my first ever cage fighting event that I've ever been to. And I mean, god damn, man, it was
It
so
was a good one to be to. Yeah,
it was a good. I will be at the next one and the next one and the next whenever they have one. It was that exciting. I love the energy. I love the crowd. But they came back and told me that your opponent had pulled out and that you were going to fight this other guy Cameron who was really really good. And I was like, hey, we're gonna find out right here, bro. We're gonna find out right here. So my where does this athleticism come from though? You played a lot of sports in high school.
yeah, I played football in high school. Yeah, I was all right in high school. I had offers to go play at like Louisiana College, like just walk on. Louisiana College, they had like an academic like thing that they were trying to hook up so I could D3.
Wildcats.
And then Nichols, I got offered to go be a walk on at Nichols, but like nothing like I wasn't fucking. I never been like too big. I was an outside linebacker in high school. I was all right. I had like 10 sacks. I was a rusher.
Yeah.
Because we had a 3-4 defense. I had like 10 or 11 sacks my senior year, so I had a pretty good senior year. But like, like that being said, I don't even think I'm the most. I think I'm athletic, but I'm not the most athletic people. Like I'm not like a freak athletic. Like some guys on our team. Like Sean's super fucking athletic. Like our coach Ton, super athletic. Merrick is
Merrick.
very athletic as well. He played over at Southern. Um, so I mean, we got guys that are better athletes on the team. One of our guys that lost, Dylan Oliver, he's a fucking freak athletic. He's fucking just crazy. But that's not one of my like. I wouldn't say that's one of my highest traits. I think I'm just. I have really good technique. I think I'll put that number one, and I'm a dog in the sense I'm cool with throwing down. I'm cool in the fire. And like we don't want to rely on like toughness, but like it goes to show like he cracked me in the fight, and you could see like we call it taking pictures. Like he
Hmm.
cracked me and like paused for a second, like he's watching his work,
Yep.
and I came right back and cracked him. It's like that. I'm not gonna sit there, and just get my ass whooped. If I'm going out, I ain't going out without a fight. So, I think there's multiple traits that make me good, but I put a lot of pride in my technique, and I am fast just naturally as well, but
Fast,
I'm
dude.
not super super strong. Like that's why I went down to 45. Like guys like Dylan, I'm like, man, I can't fight at fucking 55 with guys like Dylan out here. So, I mean, but yeah, I mean, as far as my athleticism, I grew up playing ball. I played ball in middle school and stuff too. So it was always around. So I always was playing sports, but that's not my standout trait. I wouldn't say,
Right.
but yeah.
Well, and that would make sense. Now, do you prefer to stand on the feet, stay on the feet? Would you rather stay on your feet, or does it really not matter to you where the fight goes?
Yeah, I think I am a better striker than grappler, but I'm also a very, very good grappler. I think my striking is just, and I haven't even shown the levels of striking I had, but I believe my striking is very high level. My grappling is high level too, though. I think I prefer to stay on the feet too, just because it's funner. I think it's you got to understand, it's an entertainment sport, it's an entertainment business. I'm not about to fucking lay and pray on somebody, or even like submission hunt, like everybody wants to see knockouts. That's what people want to see. They want to see fucking knockouts. Like even if you the wizard in jujitsu and you're subbing guys with all this fancy stuff, like people want to see knockouts, bro. Like that's what they come to see. So I know what people want in sport, and I've catered my game towards it. But that being said, like my whole amateur career, I had a ton of submissions because people kept taking me down. I didn't have great takedown defense
I did see that.
as an amateur, but I mean, you saw my takedown defense on display Friday night. I mean, I think he shot 3 times. I stuffed them all easily. Like
Yeah,
I have very
I was
good
gonna say
takedown defense
two or
now.
three, but he didn't come close.
No, yeah, it wasn't like so. It was you know that being said, I can still grab. It's not like I don't train. We do such a good job at training Mid City. They force us to grab. I'd say we grapple more than we strike. We just have a great striking system
Mm.
that Tan has implemented, and it's very high level. So most of us prefer to strike, but like I said, we could all grapple. I mean, they got fucking just black belts littered on them at
Well,
our gym.
it
So
showed, especially Friday night. It showed because a lot of the mid city guys weren't scared to get on the grappling side of it.
no,
You
not
know,
at
weren't
all.
scared for the wrestling side. Had a couple submissions. You
Yeah,
know, they had the Kimura one time, and
yeah, Bryce,
from one of y'all
beautiful
guys.
technique. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, that kid's
that was
good.
yeah. Well, is that Bryce?
That's Bryce Bodan. Yeah, he's
Yeah,
very
Bryce
very good.
Boda, because I just talked to him today to get him on the podcast next
Yeah.
week
He,
sometime
he's
because
he's young, man. He's gonna be very good. If he keeps his head straight, which he is, he's gonna be very good. That kid's
and that
very
was a
very good.
nasty Kimura that he got, oh boy. And whenever he grabbed his arm, I told my lady, said that's Kimura, it's over with. And it
It's
wasn't long he
over
tapped.
with. It was over with.
Yeah,
Also, it was like overweight on the feet. You could tell from the jump.
yeah,
Bryce is very technical. He had him anywhere he wanted him.
yeah,
Yeah, Bryce is gonna be very good.
yeah.
All of Mid City really
He
showed out.
looks
Even
like he's
though
the next thing, dude.
yeah, we had 2 losses on the night, but fucking Merrick fought a D1, damn
Oh,
near All American wrestler.
let me chime in on the Merrick loss real quick,
Yeah, yeah,
because I watched all of Quentin Perez's fights before he fought Merrick, and I tell you what, Quentin this loss, and I'll be the first one to say it. When Merrick's gonna be 10-1, people are gonna look at Merrick and be like, well, who is his loss to? And they're
yeah,
gonna say, oh, Quentin Perez, and Quentin Perez is gonna be 15-0 because he has submitted everybody.
yeah,
The dude Perez is legit, bro. Like
yeah,
that was a big opponent for Merrick. And hey, Merrick almost got to the end of the second round. Like Perez was no match for Merrick on the feet, and he knew that. And he
yeah,
went down. But dude, Perez is another level of grappler, and
yeah,
it easily
yeah,
showed, dude.
and 100%. I mean, I completely agree, and I think that just shows the fucking balls of Merrick to go. Nobody wants to fight Perez, bro. We knew it coming from our camp. Even Perez, you go ask Perez now. Nobody wants to fight that dude. Like nobody is taking fights with Quentin Perez, and fucking Merrick raised his hand and said, "I'll do it in my hometown." So look, people want shit on people taking losses. Fuck that. Merrick's gonna
Yeah,
learn
fuck
from it,
that.
and he's gonna get levels better, and that shit ain't never gonna happen again.
No,
Um,
dude.
so
No.
that's something we not even worried about, man. He was back at the gym today, and I know he's
Yeah.
fired up and he's ready to go. And like you said, bro, name one fucking champion that ain't take a loss besides
Right.
Habib. Habib's the
Right.
only one, bro. He's the only one. You put John Jones in there too, but you're talking about the two greatest of all time. Everybody else
Yeah.
has multiple losses. Like you, if you don't lose in this game, like you ain't ever really test yourself, and I truly feel like that. So yeah, I ain't got no problem, man. Look, I was so proud of him regardless. We
Hell
went
yeah,
out,
dude.
got some breakfast. He still came out to the club with us. Fuck that. We having a good time. We still celebrating. He worked his ass off. I was with him all training camp, grinding out in the gym. He's a fucking dog.
Yeah,
Um,
dude. And
yeah,
he's going to bounce right back. He's going to bounce right
absolutely.
back. And we're going to see Perez in the UFC doing this. Perez wrestled like he from Dakistan. Perez looked like he went to Dakistan and got with Khabib for 8 weeks or something.
Yeah,
Like whenever he was able to lift Merrick, and Merrick's a big guy now.
he's
And
strong,
Merrick even
brother. He's
had the weight
strong.
on him.
Yeah,
You know, and
Merrick's not
for
playing,
him to
bro. He's
grab
strong.
Merrick, and when he picked him up, I was like, "Oh shit!" Like he is that freaking good, dude. Like the
Yeah.
tape didn't lie. Like that dude's next. And shout out Quentin Perez. Even like Merrick said, family man, good guy. I
Yeah.
didn't know that Merrick even took that fight when nobody else really wants to fight him. You know, so
Oh, nobody
fucking
wants to
shout
fight
out
that
to
dude.
Merrick, bro.
Trust me. Trust me. Nobody wants to fight that dude. Everybody's ducking him.
Yeah. Well,
So,
and I think he even said that on the mic after the fight too. It's like it's hard for him to get a fight.
yeah.
You
He's
know,
a fucking
it's one
scary
of
dude
those
to fight.
things.
I mean, when you got a guy that's so high level and in one area, it's tough. It's tough to deal with. But yeah, I mean, look, yeah, we learn from it and we just move on, brother. Ain't nobody get out for free in this game, So yeah,
That's it, bro. That's it. So, I want to ask you. I want to go all the way back to your childhood with you, real quick.
yeah.
Was fighting what that was always just? Did you come out the womb fighting? Is it something? Did you get in a lot of street fights back in the day? That like what brought you to MMA?
Yeah, I mean, look, I would scrap as a kid. I think I had a real tough childhood. Drug addicted household, and bouncing around house to house, very very, very poverty. I grew up very 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 poor. So yeah, like you in those households, you're always gonna have conflict. You're always gonna have, I was very 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 angry kid growing up. I wouldn't say I was just always fighting people, but I would be in a fair share of conflicts. I think that's just what comes with poverty. The poor
Yeah.
eat each other,
Yep.
and I was blessed to learn from all of that and grow as a man. Um, and stay away from all that. I've never had, not even really, I've never had any drug problems or any addiction problems, and I pour my heart to the sport. If I have that addicted gene, it's only towards sports and athletics. I mean, I don't feel right if I don't train every single day. Um, yeah, I mean, look, I had my fair share of fights, but it wasn't, like I was scrapping out on the streets every day. But that that fighter spirit is definitely just caked into my DNA, from having a fight, like not fist fight, but fight every day of my life. To just
Right.
there's times I was not eating, we were going hungry, fucking ain't no, I ain't had hot water till I was 15 as a kid, bro. We would boil fucking water over the stove and take baths out of buckets. So it, that's just baked into me, and that's what really makes me so grateful in my life now is like, my mom and dad passed away both from drugs, and that's
Sorry to
that's
hear that,
sad to
buddy.
see. But it's all right. Like it helped me grow as a man and understand not to touch that shit. And and now, like, bro, like I run a coffee shop. I'm a manager at a small coffee shop that, and I fight, and I don't really have any money problems. I'm blessed for that.
Is
And
that Ruga Brew?
not Ruger Brew. That's my
Oh,
partners though. I put them on some game, and they have just taken over with that. That's one of my coaches, Vin. He runs a Ruger Brew. But
shout
no,
out
I,
Ruga
I
Brew.
I
We're
run
gonna
a
throw their
coffee.
logo up right here for everybody. Check out
Yeah,
Ruga
yeah,
Brew.
yeah. I run I'm the manager of a coffee shop called Moxie, and it's just
Hmm.
me as the manager, and then I got, three guys on the staff, great guys. One of them is actually a fighter in Mid City, but no, this lady I've always worked in the restaurant industry, different cafes and stuff, and lady used to come in, and she hired me, and she started on the shop. And one of my friends, who since left, he moved back home to Minnesota. He started out really, and then I took it over, and I mean, they pay me well to where I don't, I'm not like balling where I'm riding around a Rolls Royce, but I don't have to. Yeah, I'm not worried about living check to check, and not a lot of fighters can say that. And for me, how I grew up, that is fucking. I mean, that's like winning the lottery, bro. Like,
Yeah.
it's so hard to get out of that. It's so hard. It's so easy to fall into crime.
Hmm.
A lot of people just go, oh, like, oh no, don't commit crimes. Fucking, that's easy to be said whenever you sit in a
Yeah.
fucking mansion, you ain't worried about your bills. But whenever you just struggling every day to make do, and you feel like you can't even get your head up, you can't even get your head above water, you can't even get your head on the water, you below it. It's easy to say, all these things. So yeah, that being said, bro, I'm just so grateful in my life and where I am. I try to practice gratitude, and I got a great support system around me, brother. And I just know we're going to the top, especially with this MMA shit, brother, because there ain't nothing I love more than the sport.
That's awesome, bro. And I will just attest to the sobriety and stuff. I'm 6 years sober, May 2nd of this year. and I'll be 40. It took me till I was 34 to get my head right. But you
Yep.
were completely right. It's so easy to fall into the drugs, the crime, the everything. But it's so difficult to get out. Like
Yep.
I started when I was 18, probably before that. And it took me every bit of 16 years to finally wrap my head around it and be like, hey, I need to go get some help. So,
Yep.
so if there's
Yeah. Yeah.
anybody here
Please.
struggling, there's people here to listen to you, and there's people here for you.
Yep.
Don't think that you're alone. Like, and I'll leave that at that, because I got goosebumps when you were talking about it, bro. That really touches my heart and those situations, because I the same thing with my kids, dude. It was a struggle. It was a real big struggle for the first 16 years of their life, because I was doing stuff that I shouldn't have been doing. And that's just what it is. But well, let's switch topics here for a second.
Yep.
What's next for you? What do you want next? Who do you want next? And like, is there already game plan? Is there already something lined up or something you're thinking about?
Yeah, yeah. So I've had a very, very active pro career so far. I've always been by like, okay, if I'm healthy, let's roll on to the next fight. Let's roll on to the next fight, and it's been very successful so far. But I'm sitting at 5-0, all knockouts. 4 of them are first round finishes. I'm sitting very, very good in my career. I've had 4 fights in the past 7 months. That's very, very active.
Very active.
There's time I need to just take to let my body recover. Not that I'm gonna stop training, but the diet, all this stuff, it takes a toll on your body. I'm still gonna train the same amount. I'm a year-round fighter of training, but I'm looking to come back October, November. Get one more in this year, but give myself a few months break in between this fight, because I just fought 8 weeks ago. Actually, I fought back in May, so. Lots of camps, lots of turnarounds, but I knew I couldn't pass up on this opportunity. As far as who's it with, I'm going with Fury, baby. I haven't signed a deal just yet, but they know I'm rocking with them, and I actually talked to the head manager at the management company I signed with, and we're gonna get the deal done. And I'm at the point now where you got to go fight on the biggest stage, if
Yeah.
regionally that I possibly can. So I know the skills are there, the talent's there, and like you said, the marketability is going to be there. So I just got to just keep going out and showing up and winning, and just keep my nose down and just grinding. And that's easy for me because I really, really enjoy the sport, and I love training. So that just comes easy. So yeah,
Yeah.
October, November.
Makes sense. So, one question, and then I got a couple fan questions that a couple
Yes.
people sent to me that they would like to ask you. But my next question for you, from me, would be how ideal fight camp is, what,
Yeah.
8 weeks for you? You would like a full 8 week camp?
Yeah, ideal fight camp. Ideally, yeah, 8 weeks. Anything more than that, you're kind of the name, whatever name they give you is sitting in your head for too long.
Mm.
Anything shorter, I mean, I've done my fair share of short notice fights. I love a good 6 to 8 weeks to game plan around just somebody. So, yeah, that's ideal for sure.
And what's your first thing when you're going to game plan? You watching film?
hmm
Uh what's your first step? Say you go and fight Quentin Perez next. What's
Yeah.
your first step with that opponent?
I would go to his Tapology first. I'd see who he's fought, how he beat him. I would look up his name. Like somebody, Quentin Perez wrestled, collegiate, has all these accolades. So I'd get to know his accolades first, give his accolades respect, but not let that consume my head. You can't let, this is not wrestling. We're just using him as his example,
Yeah,
obviously. But
exactly.
this
Yeah.
is not wrestling. This is mixed martial arts. It doesn't matter if you've been a fucking WBC boxing champ or NCAA All American wrestler. All that's cool, and you have to respect that. But this is also mixed martial arts. And we've seen guys with all the credentials, like Aaron Pico, get knocked out against
Mhm.
Lerone Murphy at the highest level. So you could have all the credentials you want in the world, but if they don't translate, then they don't translate. So you respect them, but you don't fear them.
Mm.
And then I'll go break down film. I'm a big on film study. If you got film, I find it. I mean, with my original
Mm.
opponent, I bought a fucking $35 pay per view, just to watch film on them. So
Yeah.
I'm every bit of film I could find, up to a certain point. You know, I'm not looking at something more than 3 years old, at
Mm,
this level at least, because guys are constantly improving. I think at the UFC level, you could look at some film, you know, because guys are tend to be stuck in their ways a little bit. You know, when they're 30 fights in, you kind of
right.
know what they are. But yeah, film studies big. Film studies big.
Copy that. So our first fan question is, who do you compare yourself to that would be an active UFC fighter right now?
I don't think I compare myself to anybody in particular, but I do like to
Great
be.
answer.
I like taking from different styles. I take a lot from Carlos Prates. I'm a big fan of him. I've been a big
Did
fan of
you
him
see
since.
did you see him celebrating while they were brawling in the octagon? If not, dude, I'm gonna send you this
No,
video.
yeah, send me that. No, I don't think so. What fight was that? Do you know which one that
I
was?
don't know what fight it was, but he has this championship belt. And then all of a sudden, the two fighters start brawling, and their teams start brawling in the ring. And dude, Prates is having the time of his life. He's over there just dancing like,
Yeah.
dude, it was so awesome, dude. I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna send it to you.
Yeah, no, I take a lot from Carlos Prates. I take the way he cooks people,
Mm,
the way he finds finishes. You know, his knees are incredible. That's something big I took
hmm
from him. The big thing about Prates, you can he is a one punch knockout guy, but he's not really in the sense of uh, like a Deontay Wilder. What he
hmm
does is, you know, he's gonna finish a guy about a minute before he does, because he cooks him so much that
mm,
they don't know what the next shot is coming from. You know, he tears up their legs, he pops them with a jab, he touches them to the body, uh, and you could just tell it's like, oh, this guy's he's about to get knocked out. You know, it's you look at all of his knockouts, the JDM knockout, the Jeff Neal
hmm
knockout, the Li Zhang knockout. These guys he's knocking out. It's the Jeff Neal one was kind of sudden, but they're all like, oh my god, the Neil Magny knockout. Like, he's piecing these guys up
Piecing him up, bro.
and then runs them into the big shot.
Yeah.
He's not just a typical like one shot guy that just, oh, flash, you know, oh, I didn't even see that coming. No, you see it coming. You see it coming about a minute before it happens. So I take a
Right.
lot from him. I take a lot of my cage wrestling from Hamzat Chimaev. You know,
hmm
all the greats. I study everybody, but those are, you know, as far as my grappling, I try to mimic Hamzat with a lot of the top riding that he does, and submission hunting that he does, and then the striking process for sure, especially the way he flows.
I mean, that makes sense. So our next fan question is, what is your favorite after fight meal?
Oh, this is a good one, baby. Oh man, I can talk about that shit all day.
Talk,
Um,
baby.
oh, bro, I love sweets. Like, bro,
Mm.
sweets, they just fuck me up, bro. I've been eating like crazy the past
Favorite
few
sweet.
days.
What's your favorite sweet?
I go donuts, donuts hands down,
Donuts.
donuts and pastries.
Mm.
I love apple fritters. That's my
Oof.
shit. Or like a glazed beignet. I love glazed beignets too from like Antoine's. Those are crazy. But as
Crazy.
far as like yeah, but what I'm thinking, what I'm most excited for, is this place called Royal Roastery on the West Bank. They got a bunch of like Arabic desserts and everything. So
Mm.
that's like my number one spot. I'm going to hit that up at some point this week. I already hit up Baker's Dozen yesterday, um, and they got this spot. If you know, you know. I put a lot of people. Actually, I put Bryce on it today. This place called, it was the Tasties in the back of Kenner. You know, if you know, you know. And they just changed it. They changed the name a few months ago, because it was a Tasties, but it wasn't a Tasties, bro. I'm telling you, they serve gumbo. They serve fucking hot plates. They serve all different types of shit. They serve po' boys, and they called it. They changed the name to Big John's now. The owners did. So they got a whole crazy lineup of donuts. And
Mm.
they one of my favorites too. So I'm definitely gonna be hitting them up in the next week. But that's one I'm excited for. Forbidden Pizza in the city. That's one of my favorite
I
pizza
love
spots I'll
forbidden
be hitting
pizza.
up. Yeah, so yeah, those are definitely some of the good eats I like getting into, you know.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see that. Well, dude, we want to thank you for coming on the show, bro. We want to just thank you for your time. like let everybody know. You have anything you want to plug, anybody you want to shout out right now? Yeah, here's your time.
Man,
I'll make sure to get all your sponsors from you and everything
absolutely.
after, and we'll put them all in here for everybody can see exactly who sponsors you, who you shouting out, and everything. The floor is yours. Take however long you want, and just shout out to whoever what you want to do.
Man, I appreciate that, brother. Not a lot of people give you time for that. But yeah, I mean, brother, everybody, obviously I got to go first with Mid City MMA and Lee Bros MMA. If it wasn't for this team, I wouldn't be anything. I'd just be get my ass whooped, and I'd be real tough in there. But as far as my sponsors, man, they would make it able for me to take off time from work and still get some money in my pocket. So from top to bottom, I had actually a lot of New Orleans staples. I got a lot of people in my corner, brother. I had the Hotel Monteleone get the big spot on my shorts.
Mm.
Alinea Coffee Roasters, they're a great coffee company. I got AMR Detail in there in Kenner, great #1 Louisiana rated detail shop. I had the Aesthetic. They are a health and beauty wellness company, right in the heart of Metairie. So great spot too. I had Rockin' Saki, one of my favorite places to eat. I love sushi too,
Mm-hmm.
so Rockin' Saki's phenomenal. They sponsored me as well, and I had a regional radiology. They've been with me since day one, so they just they don't have like Instagram or anything, but a website for like they get contracted out by hospitals. And then I had like a the lady, she's always supported me. Name's Shannon. She always just pays me to throw vote bitches on the shorts. She's funny, She's been supporting me since the beginning too. So let me just double check and make sure. I'm pretty sure I'm just named all the sponsors off my head, but I mean just double check just in case. I don't make sure I missed anybody.
Oh yeah,
No, that's everybody,
take your
brother.
time.
I'm pretty in tune with my sponsors. That's something I
Yeah.
always try to make sure.
And I want to give everybody their fair share and for supporting these guys. And I think that's where I went to take the show. At first I was going to do a Saints show, and then as I kept going, it was like, bro, nobody's really doing MMA prospects like y'all guys that really need to get in front of a camera, need to work the mic, and need to kind of build that media presence. Even though my show's so small, just beginning,
Yeah,
I
but
think
we
it
growing
gives y'all
together.
an opportunity to get used to something like this, because as it gets bigger and bigger and bigger for y'all, this is going to become an everyday thing. You're going to have this person, this person, this person is going to be interviews, cameras, all this other stuff, and I think this will be a way to kind of give y'all just a little leg up on that situation. Especially somebody like you don't really need it, but
It's
other
good to have
people
though, brother. It's
may.
good to have. Yeah. Also, I like talking the game, bro. Like I
Yeah.
really enjoy these interviews because especially the guys that are reaching out to me right now in my career, they know the game pretty well, or they're really fans of. They're true fans of it. They're not just
Yes.
casual fans, and I ask me stupid questions. You know what I'm saying? Like
You think Ian Gary can pull off the upset?
if honestly, if anybody can at 170, I think it could be Ian. I think Ian's
Mm,
one of the most well-rounded guys at 170. I think he is the most well-rounded guy at 170. And you know me, I'm a huge fan of process. But
right.
yeah, honestly, I think if anybody could do it, it would be Ian. Ian's a big 170er. Um, uh, I think somebody like Morales hasn't. I feel like I need to see more tape from him to see, like, especially with his grappling. If somebody like Prates, I worry about his grappling against somebody like Islam. But I give Ian Gary a good chance. I really
There you
do.
go. What you saying? Like 60-40, 70-30?
Man, I say like 55-45 in Islam's favor.
Ooh.
I'm gonna throw some money on Gary for sure. And I think
Yeah.
you've seen so many upsets this year. Like you can't count anybody out anymore, bro. Like who saw Strickland beating Hamzat? Who saw
Right.
Justin beating Taporia?
Right.
There's been so many upsets this year where you're like, I guess I don't know shit about MMA because
Yeah,
I would have
dude.
bet my fucking life on Hamzat.
Now I will tell you this last card Saturday though, I just went 9 for 9,
Yeah,
but
there
I
you
took I
go.
took everybody on the home team. I took
That's
everybody
crazy.
from Abu Dhabi in
That's
that
not a
area, and
bad.
I
That's not a
won. I
bad way to
won
do it.
every fight.
Yeah, hell yeah. But yeah, I give
But
Gary a chance. Yeah, I do give Gary a very big chance.
I give Gary a chance. You one of the only people though that I've seen recently that give Gary a chance. Everybody pretty much says that
So
Islam
that's crazy to me
is
because Gary is much big. I wouldn't say much bigger. Gary's bigger than Islam.
Mhm.
He has very, very good range management. Um, and his fight IQ is the best in the welterweight division for sure.
Mm.
Um,
Yeah.
that being said, Islam ain't no slouch. That's why I still
Right.
give him a slight edge. But if anybody could do it, I could see Gary outpointing him.
Yeah.
I just think he's only ever lost to Shavkat, and he even had moments in the Shavkat fight. It ain't like he was getting blown out the water. And
Right.
I just think Islam's not the biggest 170er. So, you
Right.
know, we'll
Well,
see. Obviously, look,
we're gonna do a prediction show for that.
okay.
And if you want to come on, I'm gonna try to get Merrick and Sean, and you, and we'll all four give our predictions for that entire card if you're interested.
No, I'm down for it. Yeah, brother. If I
Yeah,
got the time, which I'm sure I will.
we'll
Absolutely.
definitely try to set that up. How about Bayou Brawling? You going to Bayou Brawling August 8th?
Nah, brother. I feel some type of way about that stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah, man. I think that stuff's fun, bro. But look, I think you know I like watching high level mixed. I like
mm,
watching skillful mixed martial artists, or maybe not the highest level guys, but I like watching guys that are coming up and trying to learn. I hate watching like the guy like a fucking crackhead in there wilding out. But I'm
right.
glad that it's on Bayou Brawling and not on like the undercard of like a Bayou Fighting
Yeah,
Championship show.
yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like
right.
that. Nothing upsets me worse than like I'm weighing in and there's a fucking legitimate crackhead on the same card as me. Like, bro,
Yeah,
I'm a professional
yeah.
athlete.
They did do really well with that by separating them. You know.
That's why I'm like I'm not that mad at it because it's its own thing now.
Yeah,
So they're fun, bro. Like you got dudes like Freezerberg wilding out up there. So
it's C Red, dude.
it's cool. It's cool, but it's just not. It's not for me, brother. I like watching like I like it brings the sport backwards in time a little bit rather than what I'm trying to have it be, which is a professional sport that people take seriously.
I can see that. I can
But
see
I
that.
think if you separate it in your head, then I ain't got a problem. Look, if people making money from it, I'm all about that, bro. Like
Well,
people.
I'll be there. I'll be there commentating with Mayo
There
August
you
8th.
go.
So
There you go. Look, I
yeah,
mean, yeah, you go.
it's entertaining. It's
It's
fun. It's fun.
entertainment. Exactly. If people know that it's entertainment, then fucking go have fun, go have some drinks, and go crazy. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? But for me, I think I enjoy more the high level mixed martial arts aspect of this stuff. But that being said, bro, like I like seeing the clips from it. I ain't gonna lie. That's how I get my
dude, it's fun.
entertainment in on it.
It is fun.
And I like seeing
You
y'all
ought to
trying
just
seeing
go.
y'all cutting
You
up
ought
on it. So
Yeah, you ought
I
to
like
just
seeing that
go and
too.
just enjoy it. Just sit back and don't even think about nothing and just enjoy it. Me and my old lady had the best time the first time I commentated with Mayo on it, and
Yeah.
I got my mom and daddy coming to this next one
Yeah,
with
yeah,
us
yeah.
because it's just one of those things. It's like you got to see it. Like it's one of those you have to see it. But it's almost like you said, don't put any expectations behind it.
And
This is
just don't compare it to
yeah,
MMA or
not
boxing
even
or
close.
because they got legitimate boxers out there trying to box.
Yeah,
Don't compare. That's not what that is. Understand what it
nah,
is. It's a fucking it's entertainment, bro. It's like fucking
entertainment.
it's like midget wrestling. Like it's
Yeah,
fucking
it's
entertainment.
exactly, dude.
Go
It's
there
exactly.
and go have fun. You know what I'm saying? Like so
Yes.
yeah. That being said, like I'm all for it. I'm all for people having fun. I'm all for people making money. Like that's that's what it's about.
Yeah. Well, and I just bring that up because next week, before we have Bryce on, we're gonna, and I'll just let people know, we're gonna have Juice Box on, we're gonna have Big Mama on, and then we're gonna have a face-off between C Red and Freezer Burnt on this show, and it's gonna be exciting, dude. It's gonna
That's
be
crazy,
just
bro.
just to see
See,
the characters that
it,
come out of this thing,
man,
is awesome.
coming up how I came up, you see fucking Bayou brawling every single morning, bro.
Dude,
Coming up
if you
how we
live
come
where
up,
I
bro.
live, I could go to the store over here and see Bayou
That's
Brawling,
what I'm
dude.
saying, bro. I had Bayou brawling trying to steal my fucking copper pipes. I had Bayou brawling crawling out of my house.
Yes, dude. Yes, bro. Yes. Well, look, Jason, man, we appreciate your time, dude. We love you. We support you. Next fight, I will be there. You just let me know where it is, and dude, I will be there. I need to get one of those all smoke t-shirts you walked out with.
Hey,
Like,
I got some, brother. I got some still.
yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay. I'll get with you after the show too, and we'll figure something
My
out.
dog.
But Yeah, thank everybody for watching it. Thank Jason for his time. Jason All Smoke Asher, dude. I'm telling y'all, Sean's going up next. Jason ain't far behind him. Y'all keep watching for him. You ought people ought to buy UFC Fight Pass just to go back and watch the fights.
My man.
I recommend it for everybody. But that's gonna do it for this episode. We'll be back next week with some Bayou Brawling interviews, and then the following week we're gonna have Bryce Bodan, who's also a teammate of Jason's at Mid City MMA. We're trying to get all those guys some recognition right there. So thank you again, Jason, and thank y'all everybody. We'll be back next week. Peace.
All right, my brother.
They pocket watching like okay, they trading on me like okay.